Most men believe attraction starts with looks, money, or status. But psychology shows something different. Attraction often begins with how a man makes a woman feel during conversation. Not what he says, but how he guides emotional energy. A stoic man understands one powerful truth. People become emotionally close not through statements, but through questions that awaken feelings. The average man asks logical questions. What do you do? Where are you from? How was your day? These questions create polite conversation, but zero emotional tension. And without emotional tension, attraction never grows. What separates highly attractive men is their ability to move a conversation from information to emotion, because intimacy is not created by facts. It is created by emotional curiosity. Instead of interviewing her life, you begin exploring her experiences. For example, rather than asking, "What do you do for fun?" a more powerful question is, "What's something you do that instantly puts you in a good mood?" Notice the difference. The first question asks for data. The second invites emotion. When a woman recalls positive emotions while speaking to you, her brain quietly associates those feelings with your presence. This is not manipulation. It is psychological alignment. Humans naturally feel closer to people who help them relive meaningful emotions. The Stoics understood this centuries ago. They believe connection grows when two people share authentic moments instead of performing roles. So the first rule is simple. Never chase attraction. Create emotional space for it to appear. Your tone matters as much as your words. Speak slower. Listen longer. React genuinely. When you remain calm and attentive, you signal confidence without needing approval. And confidence creates safety. Safety allows openness. Openness allows attraction. Here is the first category of powerful questions. Questions about feelings and experiences, not achievements. Ask things like, what's a moment recently that made you genuinely happy? What kind of people make you feel comfortable immediately? What's something you've always wanted to try but haven't yet? These questions do something subtle. They shift the interaction away from surface conversation into emotional connection. And once emotional connection begins, resistance naturally decreases, because people rarely reject someone who makes them feel understood. Most men make one critical mistake during conversations with women. They try to impress instead of trying to understand. They talk more, explain more, prove more. But attraction rarely grows from performance. It grows from emotional discovery. A stoic man does not rush intimacy. He allows curiosity to slowly pull someone closer. Psychology calls this the investment principle. The more a person emotionally invests in a conversation, the stronger their interest becomes. An emotional investment happens when a woman begins talking about parts of herself she does not normally share with strangers. This is where powerful questioning begins. Not random questions, not rehearsed pickup lines, but questions that activate imagination, memory, and personal identity. Instead of asking about her routine, you guide the conversation toward meaning. For example, many men ask, "What are you looking for in a relationship?" This feels heavy and predictable. A stronger approach is indirect emotional exploration. You might ask, "What kind of energy do you enjoy being around the most?" Now she is not analyzing logic. She is describing feelings. When she explains the type of energy she likes, calm, playful, ambitious, adventurous, she subconsciously compares you to that image. And if your presence matches what she describes, attraction quietly strengthens. Another powerful category involves nostalgia. Human beings feel closest to people who reconnect them with positive memories. Questions like, what's something from your childhood you still love? What place instantly makes you feel relaxed? What kind of moments make time disappear for you? These questions lower emotional defenses. Why? Because nostalgia activates comfort and trust in the brain. You are no longer a stranger trying to impress her. You become someone she feels safe opening up to. The Stoic philosophy teaches emotional restraint combined with deep observation. So while she speaks, your most important job is not thinking about your next line. It is listening with presence. Maintain eye contact. Pause before responding. Let silence exist without panic. Silence, when calm, creates tension, and tension creates intrigue. Many men fear silence and rush to fill it. Confident men allow silence because they understand something powerful. When a woman feels comfortable enough to feel silence herself, she is already investing emotionally. Now comes the next level of questions, identity questions. These go beyond hobbies or memories. They explore how she sees herself. For example, what do people usually misunderstand about you? What motivates you when life gets difficult? What kind of person do you think you're becoming lately? These questions signal emotional intelligence. You are showing interest in who she is internally, not just how she looks externally. And here is the hidden psychological effect. When someone explains their values to you, they begin feeling psychologically closer to you, because sharing identity creates vulnerability. And vulnerability builds connection faster than attraction based only on appearance. However, there is one rule you must follow. Never interrogate. Questions must feel natural, relaxed, and spaced throughout conversation. The goal is flow, not analysis. A stoic man leads conversation like calm water moving forward, steady, effortless, and grounded. He does not chase responses, he invites them. Attraction does not grow from constant agreement. It grows from emotional tension balanced with comfort. Most men believe that being nice, always agreeing, and constantly validating a woman will make her feel closer. But psychology shows the opposite. Predictability kills excitement. Mystery sustains interest. A stoic man understands that attraction lives between certainty and curiosity. He is warm but not overly available, interested but not needy, engaged but never chasing approval. This balance creates emotional tension, the silent force that makes conversations linger in someone's mind long after they end. One of the strongest ways to build this tension is through controlled unpredictability. Instead of reacting instantly to everything she says, you sometimes pause. You smile without explaining why. You respond thoughtfully rather than automatically. These small delays signal emotional self-control. And emotional self-control is deeply attractive because it communicates inner stability. For example, when she shares something personal, many men rush to relate. That happened to me too. But a stronger response is curiosity combined with calm observation. That sounds like it changed you. How did it affect the way you see people now? Notice the difference. You are not competing for attention. You are guiding emotional depth. Another powerful principle is playful contrast. Conversation should not stay in one emotional tone. If everything becomes serious, attraction feels heavy. If everything becomes joking, connection feels shallow. The Stoic approach blends both. You might move from meaningful discussion into light teasing, then back into sincerity. This emotional rhythm mirrors natural attraction patterns. People become attached to conversations that feel alive. Playful teasing, when respectful, is especially powerful. It communicates confidence without aggression. For instance, if she says she always arrives late, instead of criticizing or agreeing, you might say calmly, "So you're the type who makes people wait just to build suspense." This creates laughter while subtly showing you are not intimidated. Teasing works because it removes pressure. It shows emotional ease. And emotional ease signals high social value. Another overlooked technique is selective attention. Do not react strongly to everything. Instead, show deeper interest only when she reveals something meaningful about herself. When she speaks about passions, fears, or dreams, slow down your response. Ask a follow-up question. Lean slightly forward. This teaches her subconsciously that emotional depth earns your attention. Humans naturally move toward behaviors that receive meaningful focus. Over time, she begins sharing more personal thoughts with you because she associates you with emotional safety and intellectual stimulation. Now comes the most powerful concept of all, future projection. Rather than talking only about the present, gently introduce imagined experiences. You might ask, if you could disappear for a weekend anywhere, where would you go? Oh, what kind of adventure would instantly make you say yes without thinking? These questions activate imagination. And when imagination activates, the brain begins emotionally experiencing situations before they happen. Without realizing it, she starts associating those positive imagined experiences with you. This is not manipulation. It is natural emotional bonding. The Stoics believe that connection grows through shared meaning, not forced attraction. You are creating moments where conversation feels different from ordinary interactions. Not rushed, not transactional, but memorable. And here is the truth most men never hear. Intimacy begins long before physical closeness. It begins the moment someone feels mentally understood. But here's something most travelers don't expect. Many passengers believe that once they pass airport security, everything is allowed inside the airplane. However, in 2026, airlines and airport security are applying new inspections even during boarding and inside the cabin. Yes, even after you're already sitting in your seat. One recent case involved a passenger carrying a modified power bank that looked completely normal. It passed security without any issue, but when the cabin crew noticed it overheating during the flight, the device was immediately confiscated. Why? Because modern aircraft now follow stricter safety protocols to prevent electrical fires, one of the biggest risks during flights today. And here's the important detail almost nobody talks about. White right pointing backhand index is not only what you bring, it's how you carry it. For example, loose batteries inside your backpack may be removed. Poorly wrapped charging cables can be considered an electrical hazard. Devices left powered on in overhead bins may attract crew attention. Even something as common as an electronic vape can cause problems if it's stored incorrectly. But that's not all. In 2026, many airlines are using advanced monitoring systems to detect unusual passenger behavior during boarding. If someone repeatedly hides electronic devices or avoids visual checks, their luggage can be inspected again. And here's a travel tip that could save your next trip. White heavy checkmark keep your electronics visible and organized. White heavy checkmark store batteries and cables separately. White heavy checkmark avoid modified or unbranded electronic devices. White heavy checkmark never assume last year's rules still apply today. Because the truth is, most confiscated items don't belong to criminals. They belong to regular travelers who simply didn't know the updated rules. So next time you pack your bag, remember, what looks like an innocent gadget could be the reason you'll stop before boarding. Airplane #now tell me in the comments. Has airport security ever taken something unexpected from you? See you in the next video. Fire.